Okay, so we are totally flying off the hip today. Today is Saturday, December 4th, and we're going to talk about the 3 new products that we outlined on Tuesday. What I did get done is I had gotten onto my Jaxie, and I did get some keyword search done for both the raw grip and the hand balm. And this is kind of, I'm used to going to Sheila and going, hey, how are these keywords? But I think I'm going to share my screen, and actually I know I got to shut my computer. I have to turn off my camera to share my screen. And I'm going to share the couple documents that I've created that I will share with the MSIs, and they can get it out to you guys if Sheila agrees. Are you guys seeing? Yeah. Are you seeing my page? Yep. Okay. Thank you. All right. So with raw grip, we know that raw grip is a liquid chalk. So I went with liquid chalk first. Well, it's not the best, but when you know, that could easily be one of your titles, like how Sheila writes her pages. She comes up with several different keywords to include into her pages. And so I just looked, you know, okay, liquid chalk grip, liquid chalk paint. Well, it's not really paint. Well, we do have rock climbing. The rest of these don't, to me, they didn't really pertain, but I put them out there in case someone else is more creative and can turn them into their pages. Then I did getting a grip, get a grip, and those seem to be pretty good ones. And then my brain kind of froze out on other ideas, Sheila.
I kind of took it, when I did mine, I did a better way to chalk, is basically how I wrote mine. And I kind of, instead of talking about the product itself as trying to create a whole page on it, I talked about the different uses and actually the different ways that liquid chalk's been used. A lot of people don't know that if you do the research on liquid chalk, not necessarily this company, but liquid chalk in general, it actually started with a company called Whiteout. If y'all remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Whiteout is actually the basis for liquid chalk. And what this company has done is basically revamp that formula and made it better to use for athletics and any other means. But if you do the deep research on it, it's liquid chalk's been around for a long time. So I just kind of took that aspect of it and kind of worked it down into going from the office to the sporting arena. And then I pulled out the different events that it would be useful in. Like there's some places, some athletic fields that are requiring the use of liquid chalk versus powder chalk. So you can talk about that, how the benefits of it. I went to talk about how the powder chalk, even though they do have powder chalk with this company, it's in a bag. But most of the places that have powder chalk, they don't like the residue. When people go in there, they pat their hands together, they get the chalk dust all over them, they're inhaling it, causing them to sneeze. It messes with their lungs, their nasal passages. You got it all over the floor that makes the floor slippery and makes it a hazard. So when you talk about it from that aspect, then you can bring the positive side of having that liquid chalk to put on your hands, the right perfect amount. You don't have any residue. It has the antibacterial in it that helps fight the germs. And once it evaporates, then it's there. It's stuck to your hands. It's durable. It lasts longer than the powder chalk. You don't have to apply it as much. And then when you start pulling out the different fields that you can use it in, then you can really expand. There's really no, I had to stop myself from typing or I end up with a book, because you can go to powerlifting. You can go to, like I talked about my stint in college when I was doing mixed pairs, bodybuilding, and how we had to use powder when we did our weight training to get ready for a competition. You can talk about it in people that do rock climbing. You can talk about it in racket sports. And I didn't even break out the different racket sports. I just said anything with the handle. And then that includes, you know, racquetball, tennis. You can even put baseball in there. You can talk about the gymnastics and all the different things that they do for gymnastics in there. You can talk about, what else did I pull out? Just all kind of arm, like they were talking about, arm wrestlers use it. They actually put it in the crease of their wrist, not their wrist, but their elbow area where it creases there to help with the friction. They also put it on their hands. It's just another way to keep a firmer grip. When they do their bindings, some of them actually put it on the inside of their binding to keep the binding from slipping. So they can't do that with powder chalk, because powder chalk, it actually will slip. The dust residue causes, you know, it not to adhere properly. So you have all these different aspects that you can use with this liquid chalk. So there's not a whole lot of keywords, good keywords to me, for just liquid chalk. It kind of veers from what you want to talk about. But if you can find something that you can use and talk about it, you want to use as many good key phrases as headlines as you can, to just draw more traffic. Because even though they might not be looking for liquid chalk, they might be looking for racquetball help, or they might be looking for baseball hats, or arm wrestling techniques, or things like that, that they can draw your page to.
Awesome. Sheila, would you share your link to your raw grip page?
Sure.
That would be great, because I think everyone would like to see and maybe even utilize yours for adding it. And you guys have to modify. Google AdSense or not, you guys need to, you know, make sure you keep modifying it. And that is active. It's under raw grip. Yep. The other one, now I'll tell you guys right now, the main websites for both of these do not have a lot of information on them. And that's where I was really hoping for John to be on here to get me more information, including more images and such, so I could put them out into the Dropbox for us all. But the hand balm, I had a lot more fun with. I looked up chapped hands coming from the Northland originally. And I'm just going to turn down chat here a little bit. But coming from the Northland, we're coming into winter. Everyone's getting chapped hands with and so that's what the hand balm is about. We got a lot of construction workers that are still having to be out and about because that 4-letter S word is not hitting the ground yet and sticking and causing construction zones to shut down. And there's some really great ones here. You can have fun with this. And then I also went for healing your hands, because a lot of people have the cracked hands. That's where they've gone beyond getting chapped. And I think what you're going to find with these guys is you're going to just, instead of having Sheila post her link to this page, I'd like to just challenge you all to create your own page and just have fun with it. You know, and then get your links back to your instructor, and instructors, please get them back to your MSIs. And we'll compile a spreadsheet, and we'll just see what we come up with and see what kind of fun we can have. I'm still looking to see if if Aniko has come on yet. I'm not seeing her. And John is not here. I haven't seen him come in.
And the good thing about the balm, and because there is very limited material on their sites for research, especially for their product specifically, then you might want to, like Stacy said, broaden it and not just talk about hands in general so much as talking about the skin overall. Because this product, if it's like any other balm, even though it talks about hands, you can use it on your elbows, your knees. You can use it on your eye area, especially if it has the mint and the other ingredients that it says it has in it. It really helps with other parts of your skin. So instead of just drawing attention just to the hands, once you get that topic, it's kind of like, okay, what can I talk about? Draw awareness to other parts of the skin that it can be used on. Your feet, people that have, especially diabetics that can't really do a lot with their feet, they can use this to massage into their feet to make their skin more supple, so you have less cracking on their heels, their toes, less chance of getting ingrown toenails because their skin's softer. It won't grow into their toenail bed. Same thing with their fingers. You can talk, like I said, you can talk about your elbows, because a lot of people get that gray chapped elbow area too. You can talk about it on your knees, but any places, just remember your skin is the biggest organ in your body, and a lot of people neglect it.
Yeah.
So talk about every aspect that it can be utilized. Research the ingredients, because there is one part of it that does talk about the ingredients in the hand balm. That's on the first page. When you actually click on it, it tells you what's in the product. Research the materials and tell how that particular ingredient or that particular spirit, oil, whatever, how it will affect the body and how it will become an overall asset to your skin production or healing.
Yep, and this one and the new product are perfect to cross market.
Yes.
With youth.
Yes. Now I did make Peter Morley a co-host because, guy's perspective, I know you work with your hands, right? You should be able to unmute. There you go.
Yeah, this is fabulous. This is amazing. I'm excited for this product because I was in construction. That's my background. And we worked with, when you work with concrete, that just destroys your hands, right? And a lot of my friends and my family have been looking for this solution for years. So I'm super excited to get into this and start researching, and actually I want to try it so bad. I can't believe it. Small hands are not that great. So, and I have eczema too. So yep. I grew up with eczema, so I'm super excited to see what this does.
And see, that's why I was saying, when you look at the ingredients in this stuff, there's so many skin disorders, not really disorders, but skin problems out there that I think this would help with. And then when you pair it with the other one, the pH balance, I just went crazy with the pH balance. That one was amazing to write about, especially coming from a nursing field. There's so much and then that you can use and bring in how pH balance. And then if you talk about the balance of just life in general, you can basically bring in all of our brain products, our Velavita products into that. You can actually bring in our body wash, our WOWO in there. You can bring in your the Joyful Bee in there. You can bring in, to get outside and balance your mind and body and spirit, with the great outdoors. Guess what? QB54, spend time with your family. There's so many ways to cross market that on how you market it or how you present your page. Just remember, when you're writing, guys, try to put as much as your life into it. Don't always concentrate on just the product, because you will get brain freeze. You'll be like, oh, I can't write about this. I don't know what it's about. I haven't used it yet. I don't have a testimony. Think about how that product overall affects everything in life. pH balance. We got several products that talk about balance your life, balance your spirit, balance your body. This product just helps balance your skin. But like I said, you can go through and literally with that one product, talking about it, pull in virtually every product we market in some way, form, or fashion. Think outside the box.
Yeah, and Sheila, I do want to mention this. This is one thing, because I do have eczema, that the non-fragrance is a big deal for a lot of people that understand what that actually means. So if you're putting lotion on your body and it's fragrance free, that's a big deal for people that have sensitive skin. So one thing that he mentioned was that they are fragrance free. They don't have the, the high alcohol levels and all that stuff that dries out your skin, right? So when you're writing your pages, be aware of that as well, because that's a really big deal to a lot of people, especially me, right?
Yeah, like, because she actually mentions in there that they don't use mineral oils in their production of that. It is fragrance free, but also some of the herbs and the essential oils that they do use that are natural, they have a natural occurrence aroma, and she uses the word aroma instead of fragrance. And a lot of people think they're the same, and they're not. Fragrance means it's a chemically induced. Aroma is a natural byproduct of the breakdown of the chemicals of the natural product itself. So that means your body will absorb it. Your body doesn't like anything unnatural because it doesn't know what to do with it. If it's a natural product that is occurring in nature, your body has a process that it can absorb it. And if it can't absorb it, it will use it or dispose of it as waste. But your body will know what to do with it. When you have these artificial chemicals put in your system, your body doesn't know what to do with it. So sometimes it stores it, or it fights in your body, which causes acne, which causes, skin irritations. It can cause you to have headaches. It can cause your body to act weird, stomach issues. You can have diarrhea. You can break out with, all kind of things because your body doesn't know how to use that foreign object in it that you've given it. So again, if you speak on things that instead of trying to say, because I hear my students all the time, and I know Stacy and everybody else does, well, I need to try this first. No, you don't.
Or I don't want to try it. I have no interest in it. It won't pertain to me. Yeah. Guys, we're not the consumers.
No, there's people out there that are waiting for you to introduce them to something, and your perspective on it is exactly what they need to hear. They don't want to hear anybody else. It's just like with me with wine. Everybody knows I don't drink wine. So when I write about wine, that piques people's interest because there's like, wait, you don't drink wine? No. Well, how do you know so much about it? There's tons of research out there. Same thing with anything that we have in our program. There's tons of research, maybe not on that particular product, but the makeup of the product, how it's used, the general overall feel of what surrounds that product or why this person had to make it. Talk about that. Talk about the issues of why this product came into existence. That's how you tie it in. You don't have to try it. You don't even have to like it, but you do have to experience and let other people know that there's other options out there that you have available.
Yeah. And that's, we're a marketing firm, guys. We're just online and we all get to work from home. Marketing firms don't pick the products they're going to promote. They go and research the product as it's brought to them because it's a source of income for them. Mm-hmm. They will market any product.
Yep.
And
it's
like funny, Sheila. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, that's just like me. People's always asking, how do I get recognized? How do I get picked up? How do I let other people know? I advertise my website. Y'all know I live and breathe my website. I opened my email on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. I had 3 offers from companies I know nothing about asking me, hey, will you market for us? Here's our links. Come check us out. Here's my number. Give me a call. Your website's beautiful. Your content's amazing. And I was just going, who are these people? And when I did research on them, it was like, oh, these are Fortune 300 and 400 companies. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something right. So you need to be that way. Everything in your site, like I said, you don't have to like it, but you have to give a positive feel to it because there's somebody out there that needs what we have, and you have to be able to relay that. How's Rory say? Convey conviction. You have to be able to do that with our products that we have, and we have some amazing stuff. All my Christmas gifts is our stuff I bought for myself.
Yep.
Funny thing is, I had that conversation with somebody just yesterday, and I said, I'm an HP guy. I've always owned HPs. Mm-hmm. But if Mac computers were a really hot commodity and they were profitable and we could sell it and make money, you better believe I'd put Mac computers on my site, even though I'm an HP guy.
Exactly.
It's a business, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's a business. Because I mean, if you don't believe it, go to any Quick Mart You have a lot of Asian people. You have a lot of Chinese and Oriental merchandisers that's there that owns these companies. They don't drink, but guess what's in their coolers?
Yeah.
They'll be the
Exactly.
first ones to tell you. I mean, I even asked some people that we go to church with that are Asian, and I said, you know, and they own it. And now I was like, how do you sell that? And it was like, well, it's money to us. It's a way to make our family not have to do things that we had to do where we came from. You know, to me, it's just marketing. I don't have to partake of it to market it. People's going to buy it regardless. So I'd rather for them to buy it from me. And I was like, you know what? That sounds great.
Yeah.
And I
want everybody to know, Sheila, we do have morals also, though.
Yes.
I would put the Mac computer on my, but I wouldn't, the line is the iPhone. I'm just not going to do it.
I'm with you.
And that's why, I mean, you know, just because you write about it doesn't mean that you got to change who you are. You really don't. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I had to laugh. He's got a grandson that's the same age, or the same age as my grandson, Eli. And we were talking about lumps of coal because I was like, why are they selling lumps of coal? And he's like, yeah, he said, I told my grandson that's what he was going to get in his bag, and, you know, for Christmas, because he was, you know, kind of being mean. And he said he told his granddad, he said, yeah, give me lumps of coal. I put pressure on it, make diamonds. I was like, entrepreneur right there.
I love it. All right. So
I need to use that. So
yes.
I mean, but that's how you take the negative and turn it into a positive, guys. I mean, he's 9 years old and he's already thinking about that. Turn it to the diamonds. So, I mean, even though it's something that you don't know about, there's a silver lining everywhere.
Exactly.
I'm sure you guys heard me say the other day, and I say it a lot in the presentation, especially in the flow. Jesus turned the water to wine, right?
Exactly.
Way before us. Well, it's coming around way after us. That makes it a very solid product to get behind and market forever, no matter what technology is doing tomorrow. Wine's not going anywhere. And guess what? We got a wine company that's not going anywhere either because of the leadership that's behind it. So I say that all the time, but I put in chat a second ago, you know how I learned more about wine and how to talk about wine and pairing? I drank more of it. So I tasted it and I paired it with different foods. Yeah, that's how I learned.
Yep, I tasted more of it. You know, it's.
And I still haven't tasted it.
Right.
Well, the same person I was talking to about the computers, I said, we don't drink wine just to drink wine. We're not talking about, you know, hey, people are coming over. It's the middle of the day. Let's open a bottle of wine. We're talking about a super food, a drink that you have with your dinner, a proper pour, by the way, not, you know, a 16-ounce glass of it, a proper pour, a little taste with your food to make the meal better and to help your digestive system and everything else that happens with adding that good product to your into your diet, right? It's a luxury food, but it's also a superfood. Resveratrol. Oh, sorry, Linda, go ahead.
The thing about Sheila is this, okay? If I know Sheila well, right? But because she doesn't drink the wine, Sheila knows the outskirts of wine, the passion. Sheila is passionate, okay? So she loves romance. She loves passion. She's done her research and she's put all of that into her page. You hush over there. But she does, right? That's what I feel about Sheila. Sheila doesn't have to drink it to explain and expel her passion. So it's the same with all these products.
Or do research and talk about it.
Exactly. But if you look at Sheila's wine pages, she's passionate. Yeah, that's Sheila.
You could probably read those pages and not have any idea that she doesn't drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing is, when people come to your site, and this is one thing I always try to get to my students, and Emilio is one of my rising stars, guys. I'm telling you, you need to go look at his site. He has just blossomed. And he got over his stumbling block. I mean, he was an educator. He knows how to reach out to students, but when it came to himself, he couldn't. So dig down into yourself, and who knows better than you know yourself? Write what you know, turn everything into a story, not a sales pitch. And I promise you, you will find yourself like me saying, I got to stop writing. I'm writing a novel. because you will be able to, there's nothing that we have that we market that I promise you, if you really look at your life, your whole life, that you cannot relate to in some form or fashion. And if you talk about what you know of yourself and of your life, and just write from an idea, write from your experiences, then come back and look and say, oh, what product that I have, or it will come to you and say, oh God, I can put this with that, I can put that with that. If you start from the beginning to write about just the product, you won't ever have it to where it comes from your heart. It will always sound salesy. But if you write from your heart and write from what you know of your life and put a little bit of yourself, like Rory always says, blood, sweat, and tears, put it in your site. People will never get to meet you as a person that shops your site, but if they keep coming to your site, they will learn to love and trust you. And no matter what you put on your site, they will be like, oh, their marketing is good. It's good for me. I'm going to buy it. And that's where you want that relationship with that person that's coming to your site to be physical and mental, that they know you based on what they read and they trust you and know that whatever you put on your site has a benefit for them if they're looking for it.
Yes. Yep. Now, the one thing with the hand balm, guys, and several of you messaged me, and so I shut down the chat because I didn't need it 200 times. Yeah, there is a paw and tattoo balm.
Yes.
That's another page. Don't put it all on one page. Go tell another story. You maybe know somebody who has tattoos, or you've probably got someone nearby that's got dogs or cats and their paws get real sore in the winter, especially in Minnesota. The salt and sand on the roads is horrible when you're walking your dogs. And we've all seen the videos of the dogs wearing the boots, trying to shake them off their paws. And we laugh at them. They don't like it. The dog balm, the paw balm will be great for that.
And don't just think about the cold either, guys. Think about the heat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, because when I used to walk my dog, I'd always have to come in because we have, where we live is asphalt, it wasn't cement, it was asphalt. Asphalt retains heat. So I would have to come in and literally water down his paws because they were hot, but he had to go for his run. He wanted to go for his walk every day. So think about that heat, the blister, the calluses that they will develop just from heat and cold. That works great. Tattoos. I have so many friends with tattoos. I got one lady right now. She's getting in the middle of getting a sleeve done. And I asked her the other day, I said, boy, that looks irritated. She said, yeah, I just got it done in the cream. And we hadn't got this yet. And I was like, man. And she said the cream that they give her irritates her skin. And then when we got this and I looked and it had tattoo, I was like, okay, I'm getting some to give to her because and I'm assuming, because I said they don't have a lot, but if it's for tattoos, then it's not going to affect the color that they're putting on their sleeve for their tattoo. So, but it will keep the skin supple, it will keep it soft, and it will keep it from scarring once the tattoo is ready. So again, there's so many aspects that you can go from there. It's just, like I said, especially with that product and the pH balance, if you talk about the skin in general and then tie it to the product, you shouldn't have nothing. The sky's the limit on what to write.
And I know on Tuesday night, Annika was very difficult to understand. I got mesmerized by her accent. I was taking notes and Niles like, translate.
Nick was mesmerized. He was from Hungary and he felt like he was back at home.
I was talking to Stacy the whole time going, what'd you say? What was that? Oh, awesome.
I'm ignoring him and I'm just writing it.
Then I realized my speakers were down too. And I went, oh, good. That's great. But I have my favorites. I have eczema like Peter, or I used to, but it wasn't really eczema. They couldn't quite tell me what it was, but I had these great big giant white patches on both elbows, right? And it would get almost like a scab sometimes, Sheila, and cracks in it. My hands were all beat up. They were frostbitten in 76 or 77. That blizzard Buffalo had way back then. When I lost my gloves on a construction site, Peter, pulling frames off of, pins and frames for the concrete walls for the basements they put in the Buffalo area. and took my gloves off at lunchtime. And after lunch, my gloves are gone. So I had to work the rest of the day digging pins and frames out of frozen water with bare hands. So my hands were always bad. They were always dried up and cracked and beat up too. And anybody that's seen my hands up close, they know what I'm talking about. It was just, they were not good at all. Since youth, all that stuff is gone. Now my hands still get cold in the winter, but they're not dried up and cracked and nasty. And that's because of youth. Man, good
See,
stuff.
like I said, there's nothing that we market that you can't cross market. Something that we have that they complement each other. And that's why I said, if you talk about your life as it relates to something you read in the product and then come back and tie it in, there's really nothing that it won't tie into.
That was actually the point of my conversation. I have my favorite skincare, my favorite lotions. So I'm going to try this one. I have to try it just to see what it does and how it makes me feel, and you know, the texture and how it feels after you put it on and all that stuff. I'll try it. Will I use it long term? I don't know if it's going to be better than the one I have, but I certainly will promote it and sell it because there is one heck of a market out there for it, and especially with us guys.
And the
Not
price
just the girls.
point, the price point is incredible.
It's
So
amazing.
that could make me switch alone.
I went and bought from Valentis. I tried, I threw away the boxes. I bought the 3-pack of their skincare, their little skincare set. I didn't know it was going to cost me almost $300. They did not disclose that on the Valentis site. This site is not going to cost me near that much for the same size bottles. For the same size bottles.
And they do have the warehouse. I mean, if the wholesale packet, I mean, if you like my first thought when I heard wholesale, I was like, okay, I'm
okay. Are you talking Clark's American?
Balm.
The balm. Okay. I was talking,
Yeah, the balm. If you click on it, I don't know if that's going to be in conjunction, but it is on the site for ours. It has wholesale down at the bottom. And if you click on it, it takes them to where you can retail the wholesale, and it comes in 12, I think it's 10 1-ounce boxes.
10. Yep.
So I was like, okay, like I said, I'm part of a gym and I see them all the time pulling out their lotion, roughing it out. And I was going, oh man. And then, like I said, my cousin, her boys, they actually own a secondhand shop for men. And they have a lot of bikers that come in there, and they have the chapstick and the sanitizer right at the register. I was like, that little 1-ounce 10 would look perfect right there. I mean, for 12, 13 bucks, those guys are going to eat it up. They go to motorcycle rallies. They're into the racing. There's just so many places to market this stuff. Even if they just come in as a customer and say, okay, I want to buy a dozen of these, they're still going to get a discount for buying more than one. It says it plain there on their site. So again, there's just so many places to market and advertise that we're not even hit the tip of the iceberg yet. No
Correct.
pun intended.
Correct. Yep. And then
just given me like 6 pages to write.
Right? Yeah, you guys, you can take the hand balm alone, just the wholesale part of it, and the small business thing. You probably all know a dog groomer.
Yes.
Yeah, you got.
Well, I was leaning toward the motorcycles. I already have a couple pictures downloaded at the bikes that I'm looking at, so now I can write a page for the bikers.
Exactly.
I ride. I work on cars. I was a mason, 10 bricklaying. I got all that stuff.
Thank goodness for Stephanie, because she could keep the lip balm and the hand stuff in her purse
and then
for me, so I don't have to pull that out in public.
How many of us women go get our hands and nails done, toes and feet? That it actually helps soften your cuticles. It helps soften your nail beds. I mean, my technician, every time I leave, he's always trying to sell me something. Here, you need to put this on, and it's always a little sample. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk to him and say, look, instead of doing this, do this, and give out this little 10. It's just the ideas. I mean, like I said, you have experiences in your life where that you interact with on a daily or weekly basis are trying to get you to buy something that you're already marketing. There's your in. You already have a relationship with these people. So why not benefit both of you?
You know, I tell that story about, you just touched on something. We've been doing this our entire life. And I always tell that story about going to your favorite restaurant and it's so good, or a new restaurant in town. Then you go tell everybody, oh, you haven't been there yet? Oh, you got to go try that. What do? They go. You go to a movie, you cry more than you ever have, laugh more than you ever have. You get out of the movie theater and you tell everybody. Everybody's on their phone going, oh my goodness, you got to go see this movie, right? We've been doing this our entire lives. We just never got paid for it before.
Right.
The restaurant owner didn't say, hey, Sheila, thanks for sending 27 of your friends to come over here and try my prime rib or my steak or my Italian dish. Or, hey, Sheila, thanks for sending 27 of your friends to come see that movie. And here's a free ticket to the next movie, or here's a free dinner on us. No, we've been doing this our entire life. We're just finally getting paid for doing what we naturally do.
But why do we clam up when we have to mention what we do to people? We've been, like you said, we've been doing it our whole lives, guys. Now, why are you clamming up and being afraid to say to somebody, hey, I got this website that has this exact product. Go have a look at it. I think we've got a deep enough relationship. We should trust each other. If you can't say that to somebody, then go look at your website and see what you're missing, because that means you're not proud of your website. You don't want to send nobody there.
Yep. I always tell my students, like you've already mentioned, Sheila, you need to write with your heart. And we start with the home pages. That they're not necessarily coming to your home page initially because we're sending them to the product. But what they're going to do is when they come to you, one of your product pages, they're going to be like, what the heck did I come into? They're going to hit home. Now it's your time to shine about you and what we do here. Okay?
I said that to somebody yesterday too, Stacy, talking about talk to your customers. Talk in the most layman terms you can, like somebody's standing in front of you and go,
exactly.
I look at that product. I don't quite understand what does it do or what does it mean? What would you say to them? Oh, it is a right. And the other thing was, if I take somebody, your boyfriend, your husband, your best friend, a coworker that knows you better than anybody else in the community, and I send them to your page, and while they're reading it, they go, "Oh yeah, Stacy wrote that. Oh yeah, Sheila definitely wrote that. I can hear Sheila's, when they're reading it, they should hear your voice.
Exactly. You're
talking to them. That's all you got to do. Just talk.
That's one thing when we're introducing new products going forward, guys, you don't need to know. Is it going to cure this? Is it going to fix this? Is it going to do this? Is it got this? Does it have this? Go do your research. Okay. Besides that, story sell.
Sometimes the less you say, the better.
Facts will put them to sleep, you guys. How many of you guys have been in a science class and your teacher's standing up there and they're reading from the book, giving you all these facts about this specific carbon or whatever? And how many of us in high school were like, oh, I just want this class to be done? Or you got the science teacher that said, all right, we're going to do this experiment. You always paid attention to experiments. Why? Because you got to do something. You got to learn something. You got to see it in action. You got the story. You got to create your own memory.
Today's different than when I went.
Fun.
When I went to high school, Stacy, it was a little different. We had to take so many years of math, and when they said you don't have to take any more math, out. You had to take so many years of science. And, you had to have a certain number of years of each course, right? So when it got to that point where I was making those choices, that's exactly how I picked. Boring, French, never again, right? I need Spanish, no more French.
I was the opposite. As soon as they told me I didn't have any more credits for high school, I went and signed up for early college.
Math classes, I was all in on the math. I hated English. Hated creative writing.
Oh, that was me.
I hated creative writing, you guys.
So Sheila, we had that too.
I'm a good talker.
You could graduate early as soon as you had enough credits, right?
Yep.
So a lot of the people that I knew would take classes in the summer to get out of there early, because after like 9th and 10th grade, the rest of it just gets kind of boring.
It was. I
Yeah.
was the only senior in College 101, literally, and I was tutoring half my class.
So just have fun and write and talk
Do,
to,
just
if
do.
Stacy said, hey, now, what is this stuff all about? And I went, oh, hey, Stace. And I just was talking to Stacy, having a casual conversation. That's exactly how you write. Well, I do it like this, with these fingers, but the rest of you do that.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is going forward, when we bring a guest on, you don't need to know all the details. Like Tuesday night when Aniko came on, I had literally I met her the same time you guys did. I heard about that product about the same time you guys did. Only I got a message that, hey, I'm going to have this lady. I think her name is Meg. So I'm sitting here looking for Meg, and all of a sudden she's waving her hand. I'm like, there is no way that's close to Meg. Aniko, Meg, I'm still figuring that out. But we all learned at the same time all the information. And you're going to get the main website. You're going to have a chance to run with it. It's not active yet. The hand balm, the dog balm, the tattoo balm, the raw chalk, those are active.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who just said this a minute ago? Was it you? Facts, smell, stories, tell. Was that you, Stace?
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago too. Just tell a story about your experience or what you found when you were doing the research, and tell a story. That's the talking to the person you're talking to part. Because, and remember this part, as you are building your business and teaching other people, the more scientific you try to be or try to teach, and they look at your page and go, oh my God, I got to make a page like that. Right? So sometimes the less you say, the better. You want to spark interest to get them to click to go to the manufacturer of that product or service, right? And sometimes the less you say, the better. That what we call that sizzle. Create the sizzle on your page. Oh my God, this, I've had this white patches on my elbow forever, and now it's gone because of this great product. You got to check it out. Click, go.
No.
Get them over
The
there and let
best-
them see the science behind it. I don't want to be the specialist or the scientific advisor or the doctor or the product demonstrator. I don't want to do that. I just want to create sizzle and get them to go there.
You want to talk about creating sizzle? We all do these box openings, right? For the wine club. Some of us even do it for Bella Vita, like when we get our chocolate strawberry. But yesterday I'm on Facebook and a familiar face pops up. She'd been out jogging. Like literally, I think she stopped along the path jogging, and she whipped out a youth and talked about how her knees didn't hurt anymore. Char's video on her Facebook created sizzle. She had to put her link in because so many people were commenting on her video. She didn't share the link beforehand. People started asking her, what is this? What are you taking? She didn't shove it down their throat. Hey guys, I got this great new product and oh my God, I'm getting the best sleep from it. You need to buy it. Here's my link. Come buy it. She didn't do that. She stopped.
Actually use the word share.
She shared.
I've got to share this with you. She actually said that. And grandma had bad knees and mom had bad knees. Everybody's got bad knees and she doesn't. I have to share this with you. That was the video of the whole video.
Yeah, and it's like Linda said a few minutes ago, guys, don't try to change who you are because people can tell when you're fake. Be who you are. And then when they relate to you, it's genuine. They see something in you that they can relate to, especially when you're doing a video. Don't be fake. Don't try to work outside of who you truly are. Really be you. That's who people relate to. They can't relate to a cardboard figure. And that's what you're trying to be. If you're trying to be all showmanship, just be you.
Just need
If
to
you
find a
like to
relationship.
dance around, but be
There's the
you.
movie star.
There's our star right there.
Yeah,
With
you
her
just
long
need to
hair,
find
look
a
how long her
relationship.
hair is.
There's always something you can find that relates, something that you have or have done that can relate to that product. You just need to find it.
Exactly.
And that it isn't just the products, guys. When some of you are now making outbound calls
Or Shar,
and they can see right through you when you're trying to suck them up and trying to get them just to sign up. I had a guy yesterday, he goes, I don't need anyone taking pictures of themselves in front of a rented Maserati to get me to sign up with them. He says, you're real. I'd like to make an appointment with you to talk more with you. I'm talking to him on Monday.
I've seen that video. It was a Maserati or a Lamborghini. I don't know, but I know exactly who you're talking about. But to touch on what Shar just said too, that's why we can get it. Make sure we get on Tuesday nights and hear Sheila tell her story or Linda tell her story, and her student tell her story. Because if I didn't have a joint problem, the cartilage from the help from the liquid collagen, I can tell Shar's story. That's why we make sure we never miss a call or a video that she posts on Facebook.
Now Char's
got
going to
you a
get a
lot
whole
of
bunch of
followers.
friend requests.
If they haven't seen it yet, we just gave you a ton more followers, Shar.
Yep.
Yes,
You
you
can just,
did.
yeah, just
Thank
go
you very
follow
much.
her, guys. You don't need to request being a
Yeah.
friend. Just follow us on Facebook. You see all of our stuff. Okay. With that, I'm going to stop this recording.